Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks, a little whip along Crochet Buddy. If I can, hang on, what's going on? Where am I up to? This is my newest project and it's quite big. It's a blanket, but I'm doing this very slowly and there's a reason. Which way round is it? That way. There's a reason for that. It's because I'm using some yarn that Gary bought me quite some time ago, and it's Yarn Art Flowers, the merino, and it's a blue kind of into lilac and then pink. Very, very nice, but of course it's wool, and I'm actually a little bit allergic to wool, and so I'm still not sure what I'm doing. Hang on, take that one out. That's it. Now I know where I'm up to. So yeah, I can't use it for any length of time. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a little kind of stint of crocheting with it, and then I'm giving it a day or so off. Otherwise, I just get lots of hard skin all the way along around this thumb here where it touches the yarn and where I hold it. So, and on this hand, I will get it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying kind of, it's going to take me a long time, but at least I'm getting to use it, which, you know, I wasn't sure I was ever going to be able to really use it. I will do a tutorial for this, but I did, I think, record, hang on, let's drop it down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, got a cup of tea as well, and I've just been on the phone. I phoned my son for a quick chat, and I was on there for ages. I'm lucky it's not cold, but I've got to drink it quite fast, otherwise it will be. So I think, yes, I did a tutorial, I believe, for this stitch, but this is a blanket made with that stitch. And I just realised I haven't got my glasses on. I shouldn't need them. I'm not too far away from the work. And it's one of those lovely, mindless kind of crocheting projects where you don't really need to look. If you can feel where you're at and what you're doing. So but I do look if I you know, if I can. But if I was sitting watching TV, I wouldn't necessarily need to look. So how are you guys? What are you making? Have you got your crochet with you at the ready? If so, what is it you're making? I'm away soon, so I want to try and get ahead with some videos. So that's another reason that I'm doing this one now, because I won't get much chance to do it. We're on a little cruise, Gary and I, at the end of the month, but we've got a few weeks yet, and I've got up to date with a lot of videos. I've recorded all of my year of granny squares up to week 52 now, so I've decided that I'm going to carry on, but it's not going to be called a year of granny squares. It's a year of motifs, and I had a title. I'm sure I can find it if I look. Motifs, shapes and squares, and that will encompass everything, whether I want to make a mandala or another square or a hexagon, just a motif, some you know, shape like make an angel or whatever. I can do anything with that kind of description. So that's what I'm going to open it up to this year. Maybe next year I'll do something else, but I quite enjoyed doing a year of something, so I'm going to carry that on. It was good fun, and it kind of galvanized me into doing some tutorials and stuff, which is, you know, it's easy when you're not feeling great within yourself to get out the habit, and I did that once before, and then it's pretty difficult to try and get back into the swing of all those things. So I don't know why I've got a message come up. It's not even my actual phone that I'm recording on, so a bit odd. Anyway, this is lovely yarn, very pretty, and I have two balls of this, two cakes of this colour, and he got me 2 cakes of a brighter one and 2 cakes of one that has got orange in it, I believe, and I think they're out in my Yarnavan because they're not in here anymore. So I know those were up there. I've got some on the shelves, some yarns. I'm not sure if it's any of them are still in here or if they're out there, but this is the, what's it called? Slot. Bear with me a sec. The slanted blanket stitch. And all of the tutorials that I ever saw for it had a lumpy side, so it made a scallop edge as you were working, you know, so each side had an edge like that, which you could make a feature of, but I didn't want that. I wanted straight, so I figured out a way of making it straight. And that's I don't know if that tutorial was up yet, or if just one of those that I've got ready for the next week or so, but it'll be up soon if it's not up already. I think it isn't. So but by the time I put this up, it might be, because who knows. But yeah, so one of my I haven't got many big projects going at the moment. Just I've got a few I want to make, and one that I really wanted to make by the 10th, but I don't know that I'm going to get that done. I got the yarn for it though, but I didn't actually get around to doing it. It's very busy, isn't it, around Easter time with family and all that. So yeah, and on the 10th we have Harley and Alfie coming to stay with us. So Harley's my son Paul's son, and Alfie's his brother, although Paul's not his dad, he's his brother. And he really wants to help Gary do some DIY and some garden stuff, so he's coming to help him do all that. And I thought it'd be nice if they could both stay. Oh, got some more light on the subject now. So yeah, that's what we've got, and I think they're staying for a few days anyway, until the 14th or something. But Gary's preparing something out there at the moment that they're going to work on. They're going to make a wall, I think, and sort of it's actually a necessary one this time, because as you go out of our, if you've seen my videos you'll know, but as you go out of our back door, on the right hand side there was a grass area and then a raised flower bed, and it had kind of like a stone country wall going around it. Well, we've still got a bit of that wall, but he's making a wall all the way around it, because next door is lower than us. So there is a tendency sometimes over years for the little wall that was there, that it will kind of partition between our gardens, to tip, and so she could end up with some of our garden falling into hers. So Gary's going to make a proper retaining wall over that side, so that it keeps that whole flower bed intact and it shouldn't fall into Lee's garden one of these days. And her fence isn't great, so he's going to make it so that if she needs to replace her fence panels, she can do that without the garden falling in. So that's what he's kind of prepping at the moment out there, so that he and Alfie can do that when they come. Hopefully we get the weather. Easter's been very windy here. We had Storm Dave. I don't know who it is that names these storms, but Dave we had. And luckily here in the southeast we didn't really get too much Storm Dave. We got a little bit of wind. My cat didn't like it much, but it wasn't that bad. You know, it wasn't howling. We didn't have too much flying around. Don't remember hearing about any damage whatsoever. But obviously other parts of the country did have worse. Some, I think, even had snow. But we didn't get anything really. The temperature was a bit cooler than I'd like, but we were able to sort of go out and go shopping and do stuff quite easy without any, didn't even have to tie my hair up, so it couldn't have been that bad. Anyway, it was cooler than we'd like, but hopefully it'll improve a bit when they come, so they can get some garden stuff done, get all his wall and everything that he wants to get done. So I think I made Gary a pot of coffee to keep him going today. Took him one out, trying to get him to wear his hat because it is sunny. It's amazing, really. You get, well, it's Bank Holiday Monday in the country today because it's Easter Monday. But the rest of Easter, this is the day when a lot of the holiday makers go home. This is the day that's the nicest. There's always that way, isn't it? Typical. But we didn't venture into any of the campsites because sometimes they have special things going on, like an Easter day or something. And we did have Sophia with us yesterday and the day before. And if there'd been things going on and it was nice weather, we might have gone over there. But as we drove by, we saw kids playing in the play park, but I thought, it's a bit chilly, you know, we won't bother. And didn't seem to be much else going on, but maybe in the summer there will be. So yeah, what are you guys working on? Anything fabulous? I've got so many things I want to do this year. There's so many things to stretch myself, as well as sort of bring the things I've not done on the channel, but I might have done in my own personal kind of life before, but I've never really put on the channel. So to do that. I mean, I don't even really, I mean, in my life, I made so many hats. I used to make hats for Gary's son, Jamie. I used to make character hats. I made one for Michael's ex-wife, Gemma. I made one that was a panda. I made a Thomas Tank Engine hat. And I've made Rainbow Dash, the unicorn. And I made Toothless, the dragon hat. I've done all those things, but I've never once made one for my channel. In fact, I haven't really made that many hats. And I guess it's because Gary won't wear my hats. And hats don't suit me. And I've made a few in the past for the kids. Like bobble hats and that sort of thing. But I haven't done it for a long time. When they were little, I made them. When I say little, they are still little. But they're bigger little than they used to be, obviously. But I did make them hats then. I haven't done it for a long while. But yeah, I don't tend to make them anymore. But I used to make loads and loads and loads of hats. And I suppose I got a bit bored with doing the same stuff. So, and yet a lot of people love doing the hats, don't they? So maybe I should do some more hats. It's growing. It's a funny stitch because it doesn't look like it's going to grow very much, where your it sort of slants over, so you don't think it's going to grow very quickly, but it is actually growing quite well. I think my tea's too cold to really drink. I spent too long on the phone. I did try to end the call a couple of times. Let's have one last try. Some people drink it like that, but not me. In fact, I didn't even bring water in, so if I get really thirsty, it's going to be cold tea or nothing. Ew. So yeah, I said to Gary today, we didn't get anything out for food, and he said, do you want to go out? I hate going out bank holiday. The traffic, even if it's people just going home, it's still a nightmare. So I said, well, no, I'll make a roast. As it's Easter, we didn't have one. We had, because Charlotte came to pick up Sophia, Gary gave her the choice. He would have even done steak, but she wanted gammon and jacket potatoes. So that's what they made yesterday. And so I got some chicken out, and I thought I'd just do a little roast for me and Gary, because obviously I wasn't going to go off of my diet for Easter, but I have. I'm so predictable, you know, I am, sadly. But I did get some eggs, so that was nice. I got some Easter eggs. And so that's what I had for breakfast. Easter egg, of course. Nice bit of Cadbury's cream egg I had. But I actually had the big egg, not the little ones, for breakfast. Very healthy breakfast. So I'm going to make a roast, and then tomorrow that'll be it. Anything else that I've got left over, because I will have some more chocolate left, but I shall take that on our trip with us, or have it when I get back. But I'm not going to come off this diet again on my diet. I'm going to start back and come off it when we go on holiday. So last little push for the holiday. And I've been starting to get my stuff ready, toiletries mostly. And Lee said she would feed Fluffy while we're away, so that's all sorted. Kitty cat sorted. And we're gonna, oh, I should have probably tell you, if you've not watched me for any length of time for a while, you won't know where we're going. We're going to Scandinavia. We're actually going to go to Denmark and Sweden on a cruise. And one of them is going to be Viking experience. I'm really looking forward to that. Gary and I watched quite a few Viking shows. There was one that was just called Vikings, I think, that we watched. But the other one, Last Kingdom or something, and it was about, I can't remember what it was called exactly, but I think there was Kingdom in the title. And it was about Uhtred, son of Uhtred. If you've seen it, you'll know. But, yeah, really enjoyed those. Sad when they finished. Might have to watch them again one day. So what have I been watching on TV? So with Gary, because they made a Peaky Blinders movie, and it came, because it was made by Netflix and at the cinema, it came out on Netflix really quick. So we started to watch Peaky Blinders to remember what it was all about before we see the film. But we ended up watching the film before we finished watching the series. So we're carrying on with that. We're getting towards the last couple of, I thought it was the last season, but Charlotte said there were 6, but we're on 5. So if there is 5 seasons, we're on the last one. So we're watching that. But last night I started and tried to watch S4, the Bob Lazar story, which is a pay-per-view over on Prime. But I was too tired, and because we'd watched Peaky Blinders till quite late. And so I kind of think, well, I'll have to really watch that when I've got the evening to myself. So I'll probably wait until Gary goes back to work and he goes to bed early, and then I can watch it, because it's a good couple of hours. And if I leave it till too late, because there's a lot of chatting, a lot of explaining and stuff, I just will nod off. Even though it's ridiculously interesting, I will be too tired to watch it. So I started last night and it's really good. So I will get back on with that. Well, hey, look at that, it's growing. So yeah, I like this yarn. It's quite pretty, and it is very soft, and hopefully it won't really make my hands react. But if it was alpaca, that's meant to be hypoallergenic, isn't it? But I don't know about this really soft merino. Might not have the same effect. Lost my hole then. I could just put my glasses on, they're only there. And that would make life a bit easier, I think. So I actually bit the bullet the other day and popped into an optician's to get my eye looked at, because I've still got this lump on my eye. And so I go tomorrow. Not looking forward to it. Well, you wouldn't, would you really? Especially as it's been there for a good 5 months. And every time I think it's getting smaller and going, it comes back with a vengeance. So yeah, not great. And I'm a bit kind of a wussy, you know, in the fact that they might stick a needle in it or want to biopsy it or something along those lines. Because I did once pop it myself with a needle, and because it looked like a little kind of blister, but it was a blood blister. It's horrible. It just come back straight away. So yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about what it was. And obviously you get the concern about cancer, but I did have one, Pia, in exactly the same place over the other side, and that one went. So you think, well, can't be, they were identical, so you know, you can't, you think, well, how come it couldn't be cancer then, could it? But you just don't know, do you? So I'm kind of and it hurts eyes, you know, when they do anything to it. It really does sort of hurt. It hurt when I did it. So I just thought, when I read that what they would do is this, I thought I'll do it myself. So I sterilised this needle and did it myself, and it didn't work. Didn't work, it just hurt. So yeah, best leave it to the professionals, I guess. But maybe it'd just be an examination this time, I don't know. And they might know what it is as soon as they look at it. But we'll see. But I'm not looking forward to this appointment. Never look forward to stuff like that anyway, do you? It's obvious. Obvious, woman. Anyway, now for that. I'm very uncomfortable. Parody? Yeah. I like this pattern that it creates. It kind of creates a mild sort of ziggy-zaggy vibe. Can you see it? Like a little ziggy-zaggy thing. It's pretty cool. I like it. I don't know that I've made it the right size to get all of the ombre. I probably have. I mean, I think it was wide enough. But I didn't know how far this yarn would go. It's quite thick. It's a 3-weight, but as you can see, it isn't a thin strand. So I didn't know how far 2 of them would go. So I thought I'd make it a largish baby blanket sort of thing. And hopefully I'd have enough. Fingers crossed. And everything else crossed. I've never really done the centre pull thing successfully. Yeah, usually towards the end it collapses in and makes a big old mess. So I'm hoping I don't get yarn bath when that happens, or it gets a bit too heavy and pulls itself down. So I'll try and tuck it between my arm and my body. So yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't, but we'll see, I guess. I hope there's enough. I was quite amazed really that this is an Aran. It's quite a thick strand. I've seen Aran yarn, 4-weight Aran, thinner than this. Like Boho Spirit, which was the same as Red Heart Unforgettable. This definitely seems thicker than that to me. Starting to see little bits of mauve creep in here and there on it as well now. And this strand definitely has a little bit of mauve in that particular strand. See my little menagerie of Grogus and bunnies and bits and bobs. I have to bring my other ones that I made room, and I haven't brought them all back in, but I've got a little menagerie that Rose made me, and I need to bring those back in from the yarn van and set up my little area. It'll be like a little woodland scene. A little woodland scene with Grogu in it. Yeah, so usually if I do this, I end up with a real yarn bath. But I've got a feeling this particular yarn, the Yarn Art Flowers Merino, might be a bit better in its keeping it sturdy and not collapsing. But I suppose time will tell, because this is the first time I've really used it. Up until now, I've just looked at it and thought, ooh, pretty, nice. And he bought it for me ages ago, since he got it for me before I had Hobby Rocks the shop, long before. And I did buy some for my shop, but Gary got me this one Christmas before I had a shop, when buying me yarn was something he did. Now he doesn't tend to, because I've got a shop and I can get yarn from wholesalers and stuff. I suppose if I was to make him a list and say, I quite like this, and give him some ideas, then he might still do it. You never know. But yeah, he bought me ice yarn and all sorts of stuff. And lots and lots of different yarn cakes. So recently I had some happy mail from Teresa, and she brought me the bag a day yarn, tonal hues. She got me some before, but this time she got me some more, and so I've got more quantity of it, so I could actually try and do something with one of those soon. I didn't know how, yeah, I just wanted to get through this really, because I haven't used it for a long time, you know. I've had it a long time, I mean, and I haven't used it, so I figured I should. So I want to see what it worked up like as well. I've got some stuff that's made with it, I think, because Julie made me some mandalas that are in the Yarn of Anne window. Yeah. You know, I said putting my glasses on might make this easier. It didn't. It really didn't. Oh, also pulling the yarn out. I don't know why, that little bit of resistance from the centre pull, it kind of annoys me a little bit. So I like it to be looser. That's why I like the Wool Genies. I think it would have took it to put it on a Wool Genie, but I put the wrong stitch in there. I wonder why that didn't look right. That's the danger when you do something like this with a stitch and you're talking. And I'll never forget, I did one once, and the whole, about this length here, about from there to there, I had to frog it because I'd done the stitch wrong. After I got off, I didn't concentrate enough and did the stitch wrong. And instead of doing a thing like treble two together, I just put two trebles next to each other, and it should have been a treble two together, you know, or a double two together for you guys in the US. Yes, so I had to undo it. Never mind. Here Gary came in. He probably wanted to come in and talk to me, but he said if I finish recording, open my door and he'll know. So might want another drink. I'll do one in a minute. Definitely bringing in the mauve now, if you can see it. It's going to change soon. I think I've got a bit more of the blue and mauve before it goes to the lilac-y colour. But at least I'll get to see how the ombre works. So when it comes to using the next cake, what I might do is, they're identical, so I might outer pull that one so that the pink goes to the pink and then ombre's back up again, rather than start again with blue and do band. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I explained that very well, but it would just fade from the blue to the pink back to the blue. I think that might be I don't know if I'll get to use all of that other one, but it would then give me the blue for the border, which would be nice if that's the case. So with the next one, I'm going to see if I can get it onto the Genie. Should be able to. What size is this? 200. Can't even find it. Could be somewhere. You'd think it'd be very big and bold. 225 grams. Not sure. It might hold. It might hold on there. I'm hoping it does, because that's what I fancy doing, so that they match rather than start all over again with the colours. I don't know how far I'll get with one cake, really. I guess we'll see. Be like a little adventure. You can see a band, can't you, where the blue ends and then this bit starts and then this. So it's definite banding there rather than complete ombre. You can see a kind of a banding effect. I hate it when you get that in your hair. You know, when you dye your hair and you put in those wash-in colours, and then the next time you do it, you get a bit of a banding. Same sort of thing. I've got to get my hair coloured, actually. Gary said to me the other day, your hair's all different colours. And I said, what? And it was because I didn't have it like this. But you see this dark bit, you can never get that lighter. And when I pull it back, so I've got a ponytail at the top, then you do get the striping effect. Next time he saw me, I'd straightened it and it was all down and it was back to being blonde again. But I said, well, the only way I'm going to get rid of that is if I go to a salon and get a couple of different colours put through the whole lot so that it brings it all together, which I'll probably do. I want to get that done if I can before we go on holiday, and then when we're on holiday I want to get the treatment that I had before done, although we're going with a different company this time. We're going with Ambassador Cruises, but before we went with P&O Cruises, and I had the keratin treatment, and it's lasted a long time, and it really did make the condition, well, I know they say it doesn't do the condition really good, but I've noticed that even though it's long gone out of my hair now, my hair is in such better condition since I had it done. So I want to get it done again if I can, but I don't really want to. That's another reason my hair's different colours, because I was a bit too scared to dye it afterwards and wreck the treatment, because it would strip it out. But in the end I had no choice but to do it, and I finally dyed my hair and it's still okay. So if that's the case, I'll get it done, the colours, and then have the treatment, and then when it needs dyeing, hopefully it will still last. He said to me, you like my hair being different colours, he went, are you getting to the age now where you don't care? I was like, no. Why would you say that? Of course I care. And I don't think it's sort of, I said it's a bit of kind of ginger in my hair. There's always been, I used to be ginger. So there is all these gingers. You get into the age though where you don't care. So no, because, you know, I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't think I'll ever really gracefully kind of concede to the grey. That's never, it's just not in me to do that. It's like, no, go away. I don't want to be grey. I might be a nanny, but I'm not going to be a grey one. Or a blue rinse nanny. No, 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 no. I'll try and keep my hair as nice as I can for as long as I can. Wow, I've done a lot, guys. I have. I've only been doing it 30 minutes. But anyway, I'll keep going for a bit longer. I want to see if I can get onto that lilac bit, at least. I know it's sort of incorporating in the colour now, but I want to see if I can get to the bit where it is completely lilac. Maybe I'll get more of this done than I think. But I've got to do the tutorial. And then I can get stuck back in again. I've got to start the tutorial. I did make a note on my phone of the I mean, I know obviously I made up the multiple to get the ends nice and straight, and a way to get the ends nice and straight. So I did it already, but I did make a note of how many chains I did for this particular blanket on my phone, if I can find it. Trouble is, you get so many notes. I don't know about you, but I've got notes on there that I should have deleted years ago, like things like when you go to Nando's, your table number 29 and the order that you're going to thing with, and then you forget to erase it, and you look through and you go, oh look, I've got our meal order. Meal order. It's like photographs. Yesterday we were looking for photographs that Gary's making this project that he wanted photos for. So, and I knew I'd have loads on my phone. So I was scrolling back, and I have no idea how many photos I've got on my phone, but it is just ridiculous. And there used to be, I've turned it off now, but there's a feature of WhatsApp. When somebody sends you a picture, it would automatically save on your photos. And the reason I turned it off was because one of Gary's cousin's kids put me in a group. I don't know if it was by accident, but he put me in a group of his friends, and they kept, one of them said something, and then they all bombarded him with pornographic videos and pictures, and they all saved to my phone. And I was like, whoa. So I just went, thank you. You've now made me learn how to stop my phone automatically saving WhatsApp pictures. So that's what happened. I did it. I took it off at that point. And then, of course, they went, oh, quick, send her loads before she does it. And they gave more then, because they were just tearaways. Anyway, the trouble with that is, I used to get, when my kids would send me photos of the grandchildren, I used to like the fact that they automatically saved, and they don't anymore. And I forget to save them when I get them. So that's annoying. But as I'm no longer in the boys' friend group with all the porn, I could put it back. But the trouble is, you know, someone might send you a picture of, oh, I quite fancy this for Christmas. That would save. And so I've got, like, when you look back, I've got all these unnecessary pictures. I think one of these days I'll sit there. It's going to take me ages. It'll probably take me days. Go through all the photos and delete all the ones that are rubbish. You know, someone might send you a picture of a sign, but of course it's saved. You know, I've got to get rid of them all. I did that with Facebook. I got so fed up with going on Facebook and it not seeing my friends, family, or groups that I like anymore. Just seeing endless stuff that they were pushing my way from Lad Bible and other places like that. And I thought, I'm going to just go through there, and every time I found something that was nothing to do with me, nothing that I was interested in, and you get it because one of your people on your friend list happened to like it, so they would then shove it through to you and everybody else on their friend list. So I would go up to the top where the dots are and kind of hide this from my, or you know, you get the option to never see it again and all that thing. But if you can't just click that and get off, you have to click that, say why, and then do it. And so I just did that for a couple of days. Every time something appeared that was nothing, you know, those stupid things you get with, it's like, what was your favourite dinner as a child? Who cares? You know, go away. Stupid stuff like that, you know, and they just do it for engagement. Because, or what was your favourite TV show as a child? And then everybody answers because it's nostalgic. But all they're doing is getting loads and loads of engagement to make it look like they're, I think it's to do with monetization and stuff, you know, things like that. So I got rid of all of those things, and it took a long time. But now when I go on Facebook, I see my friends, my family, and just the groups that I like. And if anything ever pops up that I don't like, then I just get rid of it and it doesn't come back. So I've returned it to me again, but I like Facebook very much. I used to when it first came out, and you know, it was simple, and now it's not. It's just business, isn't it? Business, business, business. Ads and memes and all the rubbish that go along with it all. Oops, did a wrong stitch there. Pulled through too many. So Gary has popped in again. You know what that means? He is looking for me. So I'm going to make this my last row for now, and I'll do another one a little while later. Thanks for spending time with me. Hope you like it. It will be a blanket on my channel. So this is how the sides used to look before I straightened them and made it a straight edge. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching and spending your day with me. Hopefully I will do another one soon. You still quite a lot. Oh, hang on. I've got a top to my head. There it is. So yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye for now. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you could like, share and hype this video, really does help my channel. Bye for now.